The whitewashing of A Mountain's a great way for Sun Devil athletes to come together with other freshmen and kick off the start of their college careers. For Sun Devil Athletics, I'm Jason Galvin. Welcome back to Grossmont College here in El Cajon, California. A heartbreaking loss for the College of the Canyons Cougars here in Game 1 of a best-of-3 series in the first round of the California Community College Athletic Association Southern California Playoffs. 6-5 the final as Grossmont knocks off COC, joined now by Cougar head coach John Wisman. John, thanks for joining us, and tell us a heartbreaking game for you guys. What was the difference in that third inning when Grossmont put the 5 runs on the board?
Well, you know, you could see that they were making a little headway there. They got a few hits. We tried a couple things a little bit different there.
Speaking of Rod Johnson Jr., he joins us live now in studio for an interview. And Rod, it's great to have you here. Thank you for coming out.
My pleasure.
Tell me, you guys are 3 races into your late model career. That includes the All-Star race back in January, which was a big debut for you on Speed Channel, where you qualified second and led a bunch of laps before you had transmission problems. But all 3 races you've run up front. What's made your transition into the elite class at the track so easy?
I think when you get stuck with a good team like High Point, and I say stuck, I mean, you know, it's a pleasure to drive for them.
Been an up-and-down season for the College of the Canyons men's basketball team. The Cougars started with a home tournament win, but entered last week's game with Grossmont having lost 3 of their last 4. For the second straight season, the Cougars will go bowling instead of taking a trip to the state playoffs. This Saturday, COC travels back to Bakersfield for the Golden Empire Bowl, where they'll take on Fullerton. Coming off a surprise trip to the state quarterfinals last season, the College of the Canyons men's soccer team had a great summer camp, and the 2010 edition of the Cougars look poised to make a run to the state championship tournament scheduled to be held right here at COC in December. Head coach Phil Marshland didn't do the Cougars any favors, though, with a tough non-conference schedule. The Cougars faced 3 of the state's best last week. The COC women's golf team had a chance to rewrite the record books on Monday when they competed in the California State Championship tournament at Los Serranos Country Club. With his success in the classroom, Spila will look to continue his education at the University of Southern California, where he hopes to pursue a career as a sports broadcaster. I'm Jason Galvin for Cougar News. After a 3-4 start, Herrick said the club may be the worst the Cougars have had in his 18 seasons at the helm. But as Lewis got more comfortable, opportunities arose for her teammates, and the Cougars haven't looked back since. While COC has certainly been affected by the budget crisis, at least for now, it appears the strong tradition of athletics will continue right here at College of the Canyons. For Cougar News, I'm Jason Galvin. It's the season finale for the NASCAR K&N Pro Series West at Phoenix International Raceway, and crews for the developmental series are busy preparing the cars of NASCAR's future stars. For nearly 60 years, the West Series has provided an entry-level form of racing to prepare drivers and crews for a career at NASCAR's highest level.
We pride ourselves on doing our inspection processes and our racing procedures the same as the National Series, which helps educate the younger drivers and get them ready for racing in the Truck Series or the Nationwide Series.
Drivers come from all over to compete in the West Series. Teams have full pit crews devoted to servicing specific parts on the cars, from the engine to the tires and everything in between. The biggest selling point for the series is the chance for drivers from all backgrounds to learn how to drive a full-bodied stock car on some of the same tracks that the stars of the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series race on.
It's just a stepping stone. It allows us kids to have an opportunity to showcase talent, you know, and it allows guys and kids to get a feel for what these big cars feel like.
The series has a strong following amongst fans and creates some of the best side-by-side racing on the West Coast, reminding everyone that the roots of NASCAR are in the developmental series.
The best way to put a great event is when, from my aspect, I'm up in the tower and I have a job to do, but when the racing turns the fan in me back into a fan, that's when we have great events, and that's a good, successful weekend.
In Phoenix, Jason Galvin, Cronkite Newswatch. The Valencia Vikings were back on the gridiron Friday night looking to advance to their 3rd straight CIF Southern Section Northern Division playoff semifinal. But first they'd have to go through the team that's eliminated them in each of the last 2 seasons. Out to Moore Park High School, facing a Musketeer team that's dominated the Vikings in the semifinals each of the last 2 years. This year, a game earlier in the playoffs, and the Vikings would get on the board first. Alex Bishop downfield. Look at Matt Nyberg off the tip, and he's going to carry all of Moore Park, heck, make it all of the Simi Valley into the end zone, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. On their next drive, the Vikings trying to get up early in this one. It's Bishop. Look at the beautiful roll to avoid the pressure, and he's going to throw it to the end zone, and guess who? Matt Nyberg with a second touchdown of the first quarter. 4 catches, 90 yards. Put him on your fantasy team. The Vikings lead it 14-0. Up 14-7, and here's Bishop again off the play fake, throws it deep, and here's his 3rd touchdown pass of the first quarter. Jake Reed into the end zone. Vikings lead it 20-7 after missing the extra point, but the Musketeers come roaring back. Late in the second quarter, it's Grant Rohach connecting with Sheldon West for the go-ahead score. The Musketeers take a 21-20 lead in the half, had the Vikings saying, oh no, not again. Alex Bishop wasn't ready to let his season end though. He takes the quarterback keeper right up the middle, plows his way into the end zone, and the Vikings win it 40-21, shutting out Moore Park in the second half.
In sports all the time. A good job to minimize the damage. Here's Dogba on the counter, near side, bounces around. Dogba still on his feet, and Mark Dogba is in. And it's second down and call it 5. They really lose a yard on the penalty. Fell's going to throw it. Here's Castro at the 10. Nice move, another nice move. Castro leaps forward, dives, he's in. Touchdown, Elijah Castro. His 2nd receiving touchdown of the night. Tobble to Castro, the 3rd for the starting quarterback in this game. Sunrise Mountains lead is back to 9.